Lu Ruyan and I had been in a relationship for 5 years. Just as we were preparing for our engagement, I discovered that her feelings had changed. Just before, we were clearly discussing fundraising and taking the company public. Yet, she's suddenly appointed by Yueguang, White Moonlight, as the company's vice general manager and even conspired to calculate my shares. I just laughed coldly and immediately transferred all the shares I held. On the day the company successfully went public, she ended up burdened with massive debt. Lu Ruyan knelt before me, her voice choked. "Xiao Wulong, can you forgive me? I truly realize my mistake." I let out a faint laugh, my gaze cold. "Lu Ruyan, you forget so quickly. Wasn't it Yi Tingcheng who contributed the most to the project that took your company public? I dedicated 5 years of emotion, so turning it into an asset for recovery can be considered a form of compensation. You and your Bai Yueguang better stop polluting the atmosphere." Lu Ruyan's company was about to go public, and Lushur Group was quickly becoming a star enterprise in Jiangcheng. That day was also the day I intended to propose to her, but unfortunately, all my joy was destroyed by her own hands. She brought a man into the company. Although their behavior was very normal, I had a purely indescribable feeling of unease. "Let me announce something," she said with a smile. "From now on, Yi Tingcheng will be the vice general manager of Lushur Group. All work related to the company's listing will be handled by Vice General Manager Yi. Vice General Manager Yi is an elite in the business world. He just returned from abroad and immediately saw the growth potential of our company. Let's give him a warm welcome." As soon as she finished speaking, she was the first to applaud. Everything looked very normal, but it was too normal. Especially since last night, we were still discussing the company's listing, and she never mentioned appointing a vice general manager. What's more, Yi Tingcheng's eyes, from the moment he appeared, were full of possessiveness. It was truly too unusual. When everyone had dispersed, colleagues began to whisper excitedly. "I've never heard the name Yi Tingcheng in the industry before, yet now he's entrusted with the important task of the company's listing. He's certainly favored. He became vice general manager as soon as he joined the company. A talented man and a beautiful woman, indeed. I think General Manager Lu has feelings for him." These words, though playful, were closer to the truth than anything else. My assistant brought in a cup of coffee, his expression full of indignation. "General Manager Chiao, the company's current scale is entirely thanks to your efforts. Furthermore, General Manager Lu is your girlfriend. What does she mean by doing this today?" I just shook my head, saying nothing. What could I say? Should I tell him that this was the first I had heard of it too? My assistant was still angry. "I think General Manager Chiao treats her too well, making her forget the difficult days she experienced before. Look at her eyes, they haven't left Yi Tingcheng for a second. Regardless, I don't believe there's nothing between them." Those words were extremely bothersome to me. I knew he was only worried about me, afraid I was being misled by Lu Ruyan. But no. Lu Ruyan, 2 hours have passed since the meeting ended, yet not a single text message, not a single call. Not even a fake explanation bothered to be offered. The company will still go public, but from now on, it will have nothing to do with her. For the rest of her life, she can just stick with Yi Tingcheng. Lu Ruyan and I were in a relationship for 5 years, but it was never public within the company. Besides worrying about the impact, I didn't want to put extra pressure on her. It's a pity that since Yi Tingcheng was appointed vice general manager, Lu Ruyan hasn't returned home once. Initially, she even tried to mislead me. "Xiao Wulong, your mood hasn't been stable lately, so you should calm down first." Faced with those words, I could only laugh coldly. I haven't even had a chance to argue with her, so how could she tell I was unstable? On what basis does she judge that I need to calm down? Truly an expert at fortune-telling. Perhaps because I never got angry with her, she thought she had me completely under her control. Or perhaps she simply no longer cared about me. Recently, my assistant thoroughly investigated Yi Tingcheng's identity. It turned out he was Lu Ruyan's first love, the Bai Yueguang she had never forgotten. I looked at the thick investigation file about this man, only managing a faint smile. So, all those years ago, Lu Ruyan accepting my confession was mostly just to provoke Yi Tingcheng, who had left to study abroad at the time, hoping he would turn back because of it. That also explains why I had tried to propose many times, but Lu Ruyan always found excuses to refuse, stalling and never agreeing. And I, like a fool, loved her for so many years, quietly staying by her side, helping her every step of the way, from a small sales clerk to a rising star in Jiangqing's business world. I poured my heart into loving her, willing to be the man hidden behind her, never complaining once. Yet the result was only her changing her mind, seeing me as a loyal dog, making me a joke in the eyes of others. Just then, Lu Ruyan's irritated voice cut across my thoughts. "Qiao Wulong, what are you spacing out for? The company is about to go public. Hurry up and finish the documents in your hand and immediately take them to Yi Tingcheng. You're both vice general managers anyway, so don't put on airs. Right now, taking the company public is the most important thing, and that task has been assigned to Yi Tingcheng. If any mistakes occur, don't blame me for breaking up with you." I looked at her coldly, saying nothing. My gaze began to make her look flustered, but with her always strong personality, how could a female CEO like her admit fault? She coldly huffed, turned to return to her office, and slammed the door heavily, the sound loud enough for the entire floor to hear. Everyone fell silent. The unspoken glances exchanged among colleagues all conveyed the same thing: Lu Ruyan and I were over. A few close colleagues looked at me sympathetically. Someone quietly comforted me. "General Manager Qiao, you should talk things out clearly with General Manager Lu. So many years of feelings, it would be a shame to end it like this. That's right, the company is about to go public. Even if you break up, you should wait until afterward. Don't let both your money and feelings be lost." Yes, they are right. Don't let feelings overshadow money. Even if I'm a loyal dog, I know how to pretend until the end. The company's listing is definitely going to happen. That's my 5 years of effort. It cannot be wasted. As for the person, I don't need her anymore. She changed her mind because money was coming. Well, let her get the money and then disappear, as long as those assets don't involve her. Someone like her belongs with the stray dogs in the junkyard. If Lu Ruyan had simply wanted to break up, even if I was unwilling, I wouldn't have done anything drastic. But unfortunately, she wanted to take advantage of the company's listing to scheme, intending to give what should belong to me to someone else. In that case, how could I tolerate it? I don't need the person, but the money. Not a penny can be missing. Finishing a long, drawn-out workday, I rubbed my temples, my head slightly dizzy, preparing to go home. Walking past the office floors, the atmosphere was quiet, no one was left. Lu Ruyan was not staying late either. Where did those two go? I didn't need to guess to know. I laughed coldly a few times, no longer caring, and got into my car to return home. The house was as usual, dark and cold. It seemed Lu Ruyan couldn't wait any longer, hoping I would voluntarily surrender all the power in my hands. 5 years of feelings ultimately couldn't match the allure of the company going public. Money truly is a beautiful thing. It can make people who once kissed turn against each other, stabbing in the back without hesitation. But if she thinks it's that easy to drive me away, she has greatly underestimated me. I made a simple dinner for myself. Just as I finished eating, I received a call from a partner. "Qiao Wulong, I heard about what happened at Lushur Group. Are you really going to miss out on a brilliant future because of a woman? With your capability, you would be highly valued wherever you go. Yet now, you're just a vice general manager, a title in name only." I continued to listen to the other end of the line. "And that Yi Tingcheng, what is he? A good for nothing. How can you tolerate it? Just say the word, and I will absolutely stand by you." The other end spoke, his voice resolute. "I will inject capital for you. The doors of my company are always open to you." I gently closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and recalled the time I started the business with Lu Ruyan. Back then, she was the only one in my heart, and I rushed forward for her without hesitation. If it weren't for her harboring other schemes, perhaps I would have been devoted to her and strived for her my entire life. But now, she no longer deserves it. I have made my decision. I will reclaim all the emotional capital I invested over the years, principal and interest included. Lu Ruyan's pettiness taught me a profound lesson. Humans are creatures capable of changing their hearts. Money is merely a catalyst. Because of money, all that is called emotion turns out to be just a profitable calculation. Even if you pour out your life, it's just a backdrop for money. It's better to fight honestly for your own future while you are still young, especially since the terms offered by this partner are truly too tempting. I hate Lu Ruyan, but I cannot deny that I love money very much. That evening, I poured myself a glass of wine. Thinking about this, I felt that Luxure Group should change its name. The other end of the line immediately rejoiced. That's great, you absolutely won't regret today's decision. Just as I was still on the phone, the surprising thing was that Lu Ruyan suddenly returned. It had been half a month, and this was the first time she had appeared. Who are you talking to? Lu Ruyan's voice was full of suspicion. And who are you saying you'll have a drink with? While taking off her high heels, she tilted her head and asked me. I looked at her calmly and replied, a potential contract. She shrugged, looking indifferent. Is that all the capability you have? A potential contract that even requires a vice general manager like you to personally handle? You really should check yourself. If you continue like this, how can you keep up with the company's growth rate? Her expression of clear disdain sparked a deep sense of mockery in my heart. The company hasn't even gone public yet, and she's already starting to disparage potential contracts. Does money truly muddle a person's mind so much? When the company was first founded, let alone a contract worth tens of millions, she would have smiled like a flower just to compete for one worth tens of thousands. But before my recollection could linger, her phone rang. The sharp look on her face instantly vanished without a trace, replaced by a smile so sweet it was artificial. Her voice also became as gentle as water. Cheng, Tan, you are wonderful. Wait for me for a bit, I have a little work to do and will be right back. She truly had no reservations. Well, of course, she is only my girlfriend. People cheat and divorce even after marriage, let alone now. I didn't want to continue seeing her good girl act, so I turned and walked into the room. She is just a lover, someone like her should disappear as soon as possible, otherwise, I might be accused of hindering a woman's freedom, which would be troublesome. People who are engaged can still sleep together. If I were to do it, it would happen instantly. But Lu Ruyan chased me into the room, throwing a stack of documents onto the desk. I put a lot of effort into getting this contract. Read it carefully, you absolutely must win it, or the company won't be able to go public. I won't forgive you. I glanced at her coldly, then picked up the documents to read. It was exactly the contract from the partner who had called me earlier. I subtly frowned. This contract was fraught with conspiracy. It seemed that the internal instability within Luxure Group had prompted quite a few people to start taking action. If signed, even a slight oversight could result in the entire company having to bear the consequences. Of course, I understood Lu Ruyan's purpose in wanting this contract. The trap was obvious to anyone, but if they truly secured that profit, even if they lost a few investments, Luxure Group would still have enough strength to go public. It's just that she hadn't considered one thing: since it's a trap, the opposing party wouldn't easily let go. The smell of danger around here was suffocatingly uncomfortable. One wrong move, and the company would instantly change hands. I was silent for a long time, saying nothing. Lu Ruyan began to lose patience. Why, you don't want to? Or can't you do it? She crossed her arms and looked at me, her expression half teasing, half mocking. Xiao Wulong, you are my boyfriend. I've already told you, I will accept your proposal on the day the company goes public. But then she switched to a soft, sweet voice. Wulong, this contract is really important. I hope you prioritize the bigger picture. I genuinely love you. I know appointing Yi Tingcheng as vice general manager makes you uncomfortable, but I have my own considerations. Yi Tingcheng has done business abroad for many years and is very capable. With him in charge of taking the company public, we will be more reassured. You understand me, right? Consider it. It sounded so righteous and proper. But if it truly was for the sake of the company's listing, why didn't she tell me directly from the beginning? Why has she not come home for so many days? Does she really think she is a hero bravely diving deep into a complicated situation? Looking at her utterly fake face, not a ripple rose in my heart anymore. I had long decided to let go of her. It's precisely because I've been so yielding and compliant with her all this time that she probably thought I was just a loyal dog, obediently waiting for her commands. She wants both love and benefits. No problem, I will grant your wish. She is just a woman. In this world, money is hard to come by, but there is no shortage of women. Especially for men with money, why wouldn't women cling to them? You treat me as a tool, so don't blame me for using you as a stepping stone. It's just one contract. I heard her ask, Wulong, say something? What is there between us that we can't talk about clearly? Seeing me remain silent, she began to show impatience. Itengcheng, that good-for-nothing definitely can't handle this contract. Wulong, everything I do is for our future. Others might not understand, but surely you understand? Wait until the day the company rings the bell for listing, I will definitely accept your proposal. I couldn't help but laugh coldly internally. Even at this point, she still wants to use lies to deceive me? I nodded, as if agreeing. Not taking the opportunity handed to me wouldn't be worthy of everything I've invested. Finally, she revealed a sweet, albeit artificial, smile. Then she tilted her head and asked suspiciously, didn't we take wedding photos already? Where did the wedding photos go? I was slightly flustered. Of course, I had thrown them all away, but now that I think about it, I was too hasty. I should have kept them for a bit longer. If she gets suspicious, the plan will be ruined. I quickly made up a reason. That photo frame was too ugly, so I told someone to take it away and replace it. It will be back soon. She paid no attention. Fine, for small matters like that, you decide. Wulong, I'm leaving now. For the contract, try to handle it soon. With that, the clatter of her high heels echoed on the floor. Even when she reached the door, she didn't bother to turn back once. See, that's women in love. As long as they achieve their goal, in their eyes, there is only the person they truly love. I used to love her. I willingly let her become a female CEO admired by thousands, a successful figure envied by others. But now she disgusts me. It's just one Itengcheng, not worth putting on airs for. But if she likes him, I will grant her wish. After all, trash should be in the proper place, the garbage bin. I still hold 30% of the shares. Combined with this contract, it can certainly help Luxure Group go public. It's just that by then, the one sitting in the CEO chair won't be her. Lu Ruyan, this is my hard work building this up over many years. How could I easily give it away to someone else? This contract is full of pitfalls. Just one wrong step, and the opposing party, that old fox, will swallow me whole. But there is a chance to turn the tables. I locked myself in my office for a whole week. Now, the most important thing is to choose carefully. When I stepped out of the study, a smile appeared on my lips that made people want to steer clear. There was no other way. Because of this contract, I hadn't slept well for a week. And Lu Ruyan, she hasn't come home all week. Since that's the case, I must fully grant her wish. I must take responsibility for everything I've invested over the years. As for Lu Ruyan not coming home, I was mentally prepared beforehand. After I completed the plan and submitted it, there was no feedback from the other side, like casting a stone into the sea. I just smiled faintly, not surprised. 2 days later, my assistant walked in, his eyes carrying an indescribable complexity. I asked, what's wrong? Is there a problem with the contract? Of course, I already knew, but I deliberately pretended not to. Currently, Lu Ruyan is trying every way to exclude me, even handing over all contract handling to Yi Tingcheng, my assistant replied. There's no problem with the contract, he said, but seeing his stuttering expression, I chuckled slightly. It's all right, just say it straight. Seeing me so calm, the assistant sighed in relief and recounted the situation over the past few days. The contract had proceeded smoothly. But Lu Ruyan publicly announced that all the credit belonged to Yi Tingcheng. They had also officially announced their engagement. In other words, my dear girlfriend finally tore off the last mask. Feeling that my value for exploitation had run out, she could now discard me outright. But Lu Ruyan, did you truly dare to do that? Did you really think that signing that contract was the end of it all? I waved my hand, signaling the assistant to leave. Waiting until I was alone in the room, I still called Lu Ruyan. There were some things I needed an explanation for. Not to hold on, that thing was too filthy now, but to put an end to this 5-year relationship. As soon as the call connected, sounds that adults would understand came from the other end. That's right, They were now a legally engaged couple. They could do whatever they wanted. Excellent, she just gave me another reason to make my move. Lu Ruyan, you truly have no shame. A moment later, the moans stopped. Then her breathless voice came through. Wulong, why are you calling? Ah, right, I feel that the relationship between us is no longer suitable, let's break up. Cheng is my first love, I never forgot him. Hearing such brazen words, I could only laugh coldly. According to the information my assistant investigated, Lu Ruyan and Yi Tingcheng had secretly rekindled their old flame half a year ago. It was only because the company was about to go public that she didn't dare to turn against me. Now that she saw I had prepared everything, and my value for exploitation had run out, she didn't hesitate to reveal her cards. I didn't bother to pay attention to what she said, only speaking coldly. Lu Ruyan, I don't want to calculate your affairs anymore, but the shares in my hands, let's negotiate a price. 150 million, I won't accept bargaining. The other end immediately exploded, her voice screeching. Xiao Wulong, are you blackmailing me? That portion is worth at most 100 million. Don't be too excessive, it's only 50 million more, what's the big deal? I curled my lip and replied indifferently, Lu Ruyan, I built this company with you, and I don't want to argue with you. This price is non-negotiable, consider it the money to buy out the 5 years of our relationship. Initially, I thought mentioning these things would make her feel a little remorse, but the reality proved that I had greatly overestimated her morality. Not only did Lu Ruyan show no remorse, but she even sneered over the phone, did I beg you to love me? Everything was your own free will, don't expect to use our relationship to bargain. There's no such thing between us. How heartless. 5 years of feelings meant nothing in her eyes. But it doesn't matter, 150 million, not a cent less. I never intended to take that money by playing the emotional card, it was the maximum amount they could scrape together, as investigated by my assistant. Their personal assets were insufficient, so this amount included the company's working capital. I had to drain their pockets so that when they needed to buy the results, they wouldn't have a penny left. Lu Ruyan, do you really think that taking the company public is a sure thing? You're no stranger to my methods, if I want to, your company will go bankrupt tomorrow. My voice was cold, every word piercing her ear. I advise you to be a little more sensible. Perhaps my words made Lu Ruyan suddenly remember that I had never been soft-hearted. The number of people who had lost at my hands was not small, and each time, it was a disastrous failure that made others fearful. Sure enough, her tone immediately softened. Xiao Wulong, we once had feelings, but love cannot be forced. Now I truly only love a Cheng, you wouldn't want your future wife thinking about another man all day, right? Regarding the price, I will reconsider, after all, the company is our shared child, there's no need to escalate things like this. Hearing her soft, compromising tone over the phone, I felt even more contempt. I was decisive, the price is non-negotiable, I'm giving you 1 week, either the transaction is successful, or the company prepares for bankruptcy. Lu Ruyan probably didn't expect that the man who once loved her blindly could be so ruthless now, but if she wanted to deceive and scheme against me, I had no reason to go easy on her. Some people think they are talented just because they achieved a little success, believing that everything is their own merit, perhaps this is her true nature. Before she could even react, a man's voice rang out from the other end of the line. Footsteps and conversation sounds came through, layer by layer, causing Lu Ruyan to immediately switch to an artificially soft tone. Cheng, let me handle this, you rest for a moment. She was probably afraid Yi Tingcheng would misunderstand, so she switched her tone to me like a leader addressing a subordinate. Xiao Wulong, I will consider what you said. With that, she immediately hung up. I only laughed faintly a few times, ignoring it, and then turned to go to my meeting with the investment partner. Today, I had an appointment with the investor, the one I had secretly arranged for a long time, and the final step in my plan to deal with that disgusting couple. In the cafe, the partner looked at me and smiled. We have cooperated for many years, this is not the first time. He values the development potential of Lushur Group very much, but he has never trusted Lu Ruyan. Xiao Wulong, this is your style. Don't worry, at most 1 more month, Lushur Group will be ours. We looked at each other and smiled, everything was within my plan. Lu Ruyan could never scrape up 150 million, and Yi Tingcheng didn't stand a chance, but because of those shares, They would definitely have to compromise, and the money could only be withdrawn from the company's accounts. When it was close to the time for the company to ring the bell for listing, this withdrawal of capital would become the perfect excuse for the investors to cancel the cooperation. Moreover, Lu Ruyan dared to step on me to climb higher. I didn't need to show any mercy. If I succeed, everything is mine. If I fail, I've still managed to gather a good amount of money. If I were to back down at this point, there would truly be something wrong with my head. Sure enough, exactly 3 days later, a large transfer landed in my account. Xiao Wulong, the shares are mine now, hurry up and pack up and leave. Lu Ruyan's tone changed instantly. She leaned completely into Yi Tingcheng's embrace, showing no regard for my presence. Yi Tingcheng looked at me provocatively, leaned down to kiss Lu Ruyan's lips, and then turned to me, General Manager Qiao, do you have any plans for the future? Do you need me to introduce you to a temporary job? If I were to pay attention to him at that moment, I would be the one losing. I pushed the share transfer contract onto the desk and turned to leave. But Lu Ruyan called me back. Xiao Wulong, feelings cannot be forced. I am at fault in this matter, and I don't blame you for the extra 50 million you demanded. I just hope we can stop here. I spoke. I have to admit, Lu Ruyan understands me very well. She is also uneasy, afraid I will disrupt the company's listing process. But unfortunately, she only guessed half right. Perhaps realizing Lu Ruyan's intention, Yi Tingcheng became slightly flustered. He opened his mouth. General Manager Qiao is a talent, but I remember you also signed a non-compete and confidentiality agreement, didn't you? That reminder made me subtly curl my lip. Lu Ruyan immediately snapped to attention. That's right, Xiao Wulong, you signed a professional confidentiality agreement. You are not allowed to participate in this industry for 5 years. If you dare to interfere, don't blame me for suing you in court. I laughed softly, gently shook my head, and didn't bother to reply. Confidentiality agreement, I don't intend to work for anyone. The acquisition of shares has nothing to do with that agreement. When the shares in their hands become worthless, there will be plenty of people ready to join in and deliver another blow. General Manager Lu has done so many immoral things, she should be careful not to meet her retribution someday. Hearing me speak so venomously, Lu Ruyan looked slightly uncomfortable, but conversely, a concealed look of delight appeared in Yi Tingcheng's eyes. He understands very well, now he can only rely on Lu Ruyan, and what he relies on is only the bit of rotten old affection. Currently, he is just a tool for Lu Ruyan to eliminate me from the company. Xiao Wulong, you don't need to speak so harshly to Ruyan, Yi Tingcheng pretended to be righteous. She did nothing wrong to you. She has compensated you fully. After all, you two were only boyfriend and girlfriend, not married. It cannot be considered betrayal. I just glanced at him coldly, not bothering to open my mouth. A person like him is not qualified for me to respond to. Unexpectedly, this time even Lu Ruyan ignored him. Instead, she looked at him sternly. You go outside first. I have something I want to talk about privately with Xiao Wulong. Yi Tingcheng froze, awkwardness clearly visible on his face. He shot me an angry look but didn't dare to disobey, grudgingly leaving and closing the door behind him. Wulong, I know you feel uncomfortable, Lu Ruyan's voice softened, but love cannot be forced. I didn't intend to make you leave the company initially, but if you truly don't want to stay, I won't force you. How about this? You go travel for a while. Whenever you think things through and want to come back, I will welcome you. This was her usual trick, a slap followed by a piece of candy. Any thought of returning was completely impossible. She was just trying to temporarily appease me, afraid I would sabotage the company's listing process at a critical juncture. Before, I loved her and indulged her. No matter what she did, I stood behind her, supporting her, helping her execute every plan. Gradually, she began to take my efforts for granted. She even wanted to kick me out right before the company's listing date. If I could tolerate this, I wouldn't deserve to be a man anymore. Looking at my expressionless face, Lu Ruyan offered a smile. Wulong, there are some things I couldn't conveniently say, but I'm sure you understand. If you truly want me to come back, it's not impossible. Once the company is listed, I can break up with Yi Tingcheng, and we can start over. The most terrifying thing about a person is when they lose all sense of self-awareness. I truly didn't understand who gave Lu Ruyan that level of confidence. Did she think that after using me to the end, I could trust her again. I built my career from scratch. Why would I be constrained by trivial romantic matters? This kind of barren, sour land is everywhere. I didn't say anything, turning to leave. A woman who treats her body as a tool for exchange is truly too dirty. She's worse than low-class models in nightclubs. At least they have a clear list price. My action made Lu Ruiyan's face turn pale. Perhaps she didn't expect me to be so heartless. Leaving Lucia Group, I went straight to the airport. I wasn't running away, I just needed to leave a vacuum, a silence, so that the couple could comfortably finish their act. I traveled abroad for a month-long trip. Although I wasn't in the country, everything remained under my control. When Lu Ruiyan received the news that I had left the border, she felt completely relieved. But right at that moment, Lucia Group was suddenly exposed for being involved in fund embezzlement. In a short time, the investment partner announced the termination of cooperation. The company's listing plan was indefinitely postponed, a complete contrast to my soaring mood in a foreign land. At this time, Lu Ruiyan was in disarray because using all her efforts to buy back my shares meant the embezzled funds could not be covered. When the investment partner amplified this matter externally, she was immediately dismissed by the board of directors. And exactly on the day I finished my trip, having just set foot back in the country, Lucia Group was standing on the brink of bankruptcy. To repay the debt, Lu Ruiyan began to sell off the remaining shares in her hands at an extremely low price. I only spent a mere 50 million to buy back the 30% of shares that were once mine, a deal that netted me 100 million in profit. Wulong, now the company is back in your hands. The investment partner handed me a glass of wine, smiling brightly. What do you plan to do next? This time, the biggest beneficiary was not me, but him. This partner had become the largest shareholder of Lucia Group. I smiled and clinked glasses with him. Now that the pests are gone, let's just continue with the company's listing plan. People often only feel unwilling when they lose something. Even before I returned to the country, Lu Ruiyan's calls and messages were non-stop. I didn't answer the phone or reply to the messages. The content of the first few messages was full of sarcasm and curses, but they gradually turned into pleading. Wulong, I know I was wrong. Everything back then was Yitingcheng's idea. I only wanted to provoke you. Can we get back together? There was truly nothing between him and me. It was all just to make you jealous. If only you agree, we can get married tomorrow, okay? Didn't you always want to marry me? Perhaps because she didn't see me respond, she started sending pictures and videos, all suggestive images, intending to stir up memories in me. I just laughed disdainfully and stopped watching. In the video, Lu Ruiyan was kneeling on the ground, frantically slapping her own face, crying and apologizing to me. Meaningless, just a twitch of my finger, and she was already so submissive. I originally intended to play the cat-and-mouse game for a bit longer, but now I'm bored. I don't have time to care about that for now. The company's work keeps me busy to the point where I can barely catch my breath. I no longer have any illusions about love, all my energy is focused on the pursuit of money. Sure enough, a career is the true measure of a man's attractiveness. Before I could even make a move on that scumbag couple, Lu Ruiyan actively came to find me, bowing her head in supplication. When I saw her, I was truly a little surprised. In just 2 months, she looked noticeably haggard. Now, she no longer had the heart to put on makeup. The thick foundation couldn't hide the heavy dark circles under her eyes. Wulong, I finally waited for you to return, her voice trembled. I beg you, just help me this one time. If this continues, I'll have to go to jail. I swear I will be devoted to you wholeheartedly from now on, absolutely no second chances. Saying this, she plopped down and knelt on the ground. This woman, even at this point, still doesn't understand how wrong she was, and still wants to hold on. Ridiculous. I stepped back, my voice cold. Miss Lu, please have some self-respect. There is no relationship between us anymore. Your official boyfriend is Yitingcheng. If you have business, you should look for him. A look of confusion appeared on her face, and then she immediately forced a fawning smile. Wulong, don't joke anymore. How can he compare to you? I know you feel wronged because of Yitingcheng's matter, but I'm here to apologize. As long as your anger subsides, you can punish me however you want. After all, the company was built by us together, and you still have feelings, right? Lu Ruyan continued to play the emotional card, but I just slightly curled my lip, sneering, "What does having feelings have to do with you? She's not remorseful, she's scared. Stop struggling, go back to your trash heap, that's where you belong." Lu Ruyan looked at me with resentful eyes, but I only felt nauseated. "Wulong, are you still angry with me?" Lu Ruyan looked up, her eyes filled with tears. "I know you're just jealous because I treated Yi Tingqing well, but rest assured, from now on, I will only have you forever." She tried her best to prove her remorse, even guaranteeing, "I know you always wanted to marry me, as long as you forgive me, I will agree to anything." There was a time when I truly yearned to have the woman named Lu Ruyan, but unfortunately, that love was mercilessly strangled by her own hands. In her plan back then, a beautiful future between her and me never existed, only calculations and exploitation. And now she brings out that fake face to reenact the old scene. If it weren't for my assistant closely monitoring every move of both her and Yi Tingqing, I might actually have been deceived again. "Lu Ruyan, it's over between us," I said coldly. "I will absolutely never be with a vicious and sinister woman like you again. You are still carrying a mountain of debt on your back. What makes you think you are still worthy of me?" I looked at her with contempt. "Didn't you like Yi Tingqing very much? Didn't you go to great lengths to bring him back from abroad? So why don't you go marry him? What, even he doesn't want you anymore?" Lu Ruyan's face stiffened. Clearly, she hadn't expected me to know that Yi Tingqing had fled. She paused for a few seconds but still didn't give up, blocking my path. "Wulong, I know you're still angry about Yi Tingqing, but rest assured, we broke up a long time ago. He's a scoundrel, he also took the last of my money and fled abroad. Now I realize that the person I love most has always been you." Saying this, tears streamed down her cheeks. I couldn't tell if she was genuinely regretful or just being moved by her own script. But what difference did it make? I immediately lost the desire to say anything more. I pushed her hand away and strode into the company's office building. "Wulong, I truly know my mistake." Lu Ruyan's voice rang out behind me, but I coldly cut her off. She has never truly known where she went wrong. In her eyes, the so-called feelings are just something that can be bought and sold. What happened before wasn't because she wanted to provoke me, it was because she wanted to kick me out of the company. She was the one blinded by greed when she saw the company was about to be listed. Lu Ruyan's face was white, she intended to say something in defense but couldn't utter a word. Nevertheless, I still had my assistant take her to a temporary apartment. Not because I still had feelings for her, but because I don't believe in the law. A legal trial would be too light for what she did. Lu Ruyan does not deserve to be treated lightly. Didn't she once passionately love Yi Tingqing? Didn't she rely on Yi Tingqing to drive me out of the company? Well then, that earth-shattering love, I should help her fulfill it. In the evening, when I entered the apartment, Lu Ruyan was already kneeling on the floor. I smiled faintly. Before I could say anything, she quickly looked up and smiled ingratiatingly. "Wulong, you forgave me, right? I knew you wouldn't be so heartless." As she spoke, she tried to take off her clothes. Fortunately, I quickly stopped her, or I would have stained my eyes. My action stunned her, and her eyes held a hidden unease as she looked at me. "Wulong, rest assured, I will absolutely never betray you again. I truly missed you these past few days. Whatever you want me to do, I will accept." That utterly fake gaze made me nauseous. I asked her coldly, "Are you sure you're willing to do anything?" She quickly nodded. Willing to do anything, anything at all. Seeing her pathetic, fawning demeanor, I couldn't help but laugh contemptuously. She truly doesn't know her place. A traitor will never have a good ending. No one wants to be betrayed twice, unfaithful once, unnecessary for life. I understand everything she did, but that doesn't mean I accept it. For the company, for her, I once poured out all my strength, yet all I received in return was hurt. If I weren't a little more capable, perhaps the person kneeling here begging right now would be me. I laughed coldly and asked, "Where is Yi Tingqing?" The question stunned Lu Ruyan for a second. Perhaps she thought I was jealous. "Yi Tingqing and I are completely finished," she hastily said. "He swindled all my money and fled abroad. But rest assured, I have seen my own heart clearly. Now, the person I love is only you. Lu Ruyan immediately hugged my leg, crying miserably. Wulong, I truly know my mistake. Thank you for forgiving me. For the rest of my life, you are my life, and I will love you forever. I laughed softly, raising an eyebrow in mockery. No need. I am not blessed enough to receive your love. Lu Ruyan, I really didn't expect you to be this servile. She heard the sarcasm in my words, but Lu Ruyan showed no shame. Instead, she kept a fawning smile on her face. Wulong, as long as you can forgive me, I will do anything. I was too lazy to even pull her up. If she wants to kneel, let her kneel. She brought it upon herself. There is nothing pitiful about it. Lu Ruyan began to recount what happened after I left. After gaining control of the shares in my hands, Yi Cheng went all out to please her. Initially, Lu Ruyan enjoyed the feeling of being pampered and courted, but after the company's scandal was exposed, the relationship between the two was no longer the same. It's just that Lu Ruyan was busy scrambling everywhere at the time and completely failed to notice the change in Yi Cheng's eyes. He suggested that she quickly convert a portion of her assets into cash and transfer it abroad. Since the pressure from the shareholders was weighing heavily on her mind, she agreed. Telling the story up to this point, Lu Ruyan was like a deflated balloon, completely powerless. Wulong, I truly regret it. You must be laughing at me now for getting what I deserve, right? At this moment, she looked genuinely pathetic, but what did that have to do with me? Should I forgive all the harm she caused? If I hadn't found out earlier, if I hadn't prepared a fallback plan, the one being humiliated, looked down upon, and ridiculed right now would be me. A pitiful person always has something hateful about them. I laughed coldly. Very well, Lu Ruyan, it's not difficult for me to forgive you. Do as I say. I have never been a saint. For someone who stabbed me in the back, I can only send them to hell. After hearing my request, Lu Ruyan was dumbfounded. After a moment, she gritted her teeth. Wulong, I can't do it. Yi Cheng will kill me. You don't know how terrifying he is. I chuckled softly, a hint of malice rising in my heart. Didn't you just say you were willing to do anything? Besides, did you think the bodyguards I hired were useless? He is the knot in my heart that I can never overcome. Do it or get out. Lu Ruyan frantically waved her hands in explanation. No, I'll do it, I'll listen to you, I'll do it. Humph, I truly didn't misjudge her. This woman only ever lived for herself. Half a month later, the group of bodyguards I dispatched returned one by one, their faces all strained. Chairman, we apologize, we were useless. That day, after Lu Ruyan agreed, I immediately put her on a plane. She tricked Yi Cheng into flying to Thailand. While my bodyguards were momentarily lax, the two were captured by a group of people and taken to the Golden Triangle area in the north. I waved my hand, signaling the bodyguards to retreat. A video was playing on my phone, in which Lu Ruyan and Yi Cheng were being tormented to the point where death seemed better than life. They couldn't even commit suicide. Perhaps having endured enough torture, Lu Ruyan's lips kept trembling. I was wrong, I was truly wrong. I closed my phone. Everything ends here, no longer relevant to me. Today is the day my company officially goes public. I don't need those filthy things to affect my mood. Under the shimmering lights of the listing ceremony hall, I stood on the stage, quietly looking down at the packed auditorium. After years of hard work, after pouring out all my dedication countless times, I finally brought my company to a new level. No longer the one standing behind, no longer anyone's shadow. Today, I am the center of the light, the sole person in control. I raised my wine glass, smiling at the shareholders and partners. Thank you all for your trust and companionship. This is only the beginning. From now on, let us write a completely new chapter together. Below, there was no one named Lu Ruyan, no Yi Cheng, and no figure I once blindly loved. Those people, the one who sold out affection, the one who used me as a stepping stone, were swallowed by their own ambition. They once thought I was weak, easily manipulated, but they forgot that I am a person who can pour out everything, and also a person who can heartlessly reclaim everything. I walked out of the hall, the night wind gently brushing through my hair, bringing a chill that was incredibly comfortable. For the first time in many years, I truly felt relieved. No more hatred, no more burdens. I don't need anyone as motivation, I only need myself. Love? I once loved a person to the core, and I once hated a person to the point of wanting to destroy them. But in the end, I realized that the most valuable thing in this life is not a person who loves me, but myself, the person who never betrayed himself. I smiled faintly, whispering goodbye. Past, from today on, I only walk forward.